Not really.
Not quite.
So,
Last lesson of geometry. Slide. Okay. We are doing 11, 3, 11, 5. And I remember when I was doing 11, 2, 11, 4, you might have been like, we skipped a lesson. Why are we going out of order? Why are these two going together? It's because both of them were similar. The prisms and the cylinders were super similar. And I think pyramids and cones are very, very similar. So a pyramid is a polyhedron in which the base is a polygon and the lateral faces are all triangles with a common vertex. The intersection of two lateral faces, so two lateral faces where they touch, that would be like here. That's what we call a lateral edge. Yep. Thank you for reminding me though. A lateral edge. And then where the base and the lateral face touch each other, that's called a base edge. That's not super important information, but I like to know, I like to be able to tell you kind of what we're looking at, what the pieces are. I truly haven't looked at the quiz recently. When we review tomorrow, I'll have looked at the quiz and I'll know. The perpendicular distance between the base and the vertex of the pyramid is called the height of the pyramid. Now this is kind of a slanty pyramid, which means that when I draw my height, it doesn't go directly to the center of the polygon, but the problems that we will be doing will all be just directly right in the middle and go straight to the center of the polygon. So from the vertex to a point on the polygon as the base is my height, and it is perpendicular, so there's always a right angle there. Okay. So regular pyramid, that's what we're going to be dealing with. So it won't be like kind of off center. It won't be slanty. It's a pyramid whose base is a regular polygon. So it's like a square. It's like an equilateral triangle. It could be a regular hexagon. And the height meets the base at the center of the polygon. So because this is a regular pyramid, this is the exact center of my polygon. This is the very center of that base that's in the bottom. Okay. Now, in addition to our normal height, we've got a new term. This is called the slant height. And the slant height is the height of the triangle that's the lateral face. So it's the height of the regular triangle face. I'm highlighting it right now in yellow. That's my slant height. We use the letter L for my slant height, and I use a cursive L because my lower or my non-cursive L looks like a 1 or something, and so I get confused. So L is the letter for slant height. Do you guys see that slant height and regular height are different?
yeah.
Do you also see that if I were to connect them, I can make a little right triangle right here? We're going to be using that, where this is my normal height, and this is my slant height, and the bottom edge is just part of the base. So we're going to be using right triangles like that in order to solve as we go along. You what?
It's like science.
It is like science. All right, let's do some formulas. We're still going to use the same like big letters like we used before. So big B means the area of the base. Big P means the perimeter of the base. H means height of the pyramid. L means slant height. That's my new one. If you were kind of keeping track, that's new. Lateral area is still the sum of all the lateral faces. And in our case, these lateral faces are all triangles. So I just drew a little triangle next to it to remind myself they're all triangles. Okay. My LA formula starts with 1/2. We did not have that before. So it starts with 1/2. And it's going to be the perimeter of the base times the slant height. Perimeter of the base times the slant height. And so that formula is 1/2 PL. And I will give you that. For those of you who got a review for the quiz, the study guide, it has that formula at the top. So that's what we're going to use. And I'm going to give that to you on your quiz. The essay is just like it was before. It's going to be the LA, but there's only one base, not two bases. So it's just going to be LA plus B. It's not going to be LA plus 2B. It's just going to be LA plus B. Are you just like a little bit off on all of those?
From-
If you use the old formulas, you're just a little bit off.
How would you find this?
We're going to do that in 1 second. And then last is volume. Volume is 1/3 times area of the base times height. So it's still B times H,
Would you write in the essay spaces?
LA plus B. Volume is area of the base times the height of the pyramid.
1/3 is confused.
1/3 is confusing, but
Can you do
good
it
thing.
times 3?
You can do divided by 3.
That's my real number, so I think I'll just go with that.
So 1/3 times B times H. And again, I will give these to you. So it's not like you have to remember 1/3. I will give you that 1/3. So reminder, LA is 1/2 PL. SA is LA plus B. And then V, volume, is 1/3 B times H.
You can do B times H divided by 3.
Yep. Yeah, some of you guys I noticed on like one of our more recent tests, you guys would rather write stuff like this. That's fine.
Let's do that.
I can pivot. That's mathematically the same. All right, so now we're gonna do an example. This doesn't have my volume, but we're gonna do volume in here. So I am gonna add an H and I am gonna add a volume. So we're gonna do those in here too. Okay, first things first, what kind of shape is this base?
Square.
A square, good. I gave you your L. What's your slant height? 30, good. Let's throw some units on the end, 30 millimeters.
Oh, so it's just, is given.
That one's given. We will have to find the height in a second, but that slant height was just given to us. The perimeter of the base, what's the perimeter of my square base?
20.
20 is one side, so how do you find the perimeter? 80. 4 times 20, right? 80 millimeters. And that's just millimeters, not squared, not cubed, not nothing. Not nothing. Wow, good thing I teach math, not English, right? Don't tell your English teachers I don't know how to talk. Area of the base. How do you find the area of a square? 20 times 20, which is 400. Good. And that one is squared. It's millimeters squared. All right, I know height's not asked of you, but we're gonna find it really quick. So remember I told you that we could make a height and we could make a little right triangle? I'm gonna zoom in on my figure. My height goes from the vertex of the pyramid down to the center of my square. So this is the center of my square, and then it pops out to the edge and it connects with the slant height.
Can we do like oh my God, the truth of P?
Pythagorean theorem? Yep. I know this is 30, and I actually know what this side is. Does anyone know what that is? Why? Yeah. It's exactly down the middle because it told us that it hits the center of the shape, which means 10's over here, 10's over there. And then I'm just going to do Pythagorean theorem to find that missing side. So how would I set up that Pythagorean theorem?
10 squared plus x squared equals 2.
Good. I want to do a big like reminder that the number that's the biggest, the number that's across from the 90 degrees is always the hypotenuse. On our test recently, we knew to use Pythagorean theorem and you set it up right, but you put the wrong things in the wrong spot. So remember, it's across from the right angle is my opposite one. So I've got 100 plus x squared equals 900. And then we minus off 100 and I get 800. And square root of 800 is 8 and 10 and 100, I mean, and 100 is 10 and 10, so I can actually stop there. And then 8 is going to be 2 and 2 and 2.
So
20 root 2. So that's my height.
wait. You see
Oh,
Pythagorean
okay.
theorem.
Yep, just use Pythagorean theorem.
That work on the slant too.
Yep, and we're going to do it on the slant in the next problem. All right, now that I have L and P and B and H, we can find all the pieces, right? Did anyone have a question before I go find all those? All right, LA, remember that is going to be 1/2 P times L. So I'm going to do 1/2. What's my P? Good. Times my L. 30. Good. And you can do that in the calculator. I know 1/2 of 80 is 40, and 40 times 30 is going to be 1,200, I think. And that's millimeters squared. Am I moving too fast, or is everybody good? Good. Okay. SA is LA plus B. Well, we just found LA. What was LA? Good. 1,200, 1,200. And what's my B? 400. Can you do 1,200 plus 400? Yeah. What is that? Good. 1,600. And that's still millimeters squared. And then volume is 1/3 times B times H. Oh, no, I told you I would pivot. B times H divided by 3. What's B? Good. What's H? 20 root 2 divided by 3. And this one doesn't divide out evenly because I know 420 both are not divisible by 3. So I'm going to get a decimal and I'm going to put it in my calculator. Oh, yeah, sorry. Just today. Yesterday it was B times H, and that was it. All right, so I'm going to do 400 times 20, and I'm going to divide that by 3. So you can either write 8,000 root 2 over 3, or you can write 2,666.7 root 2, and they're both going to be millimeters cubed. All right, how are we doing? Good? Oh, I lied, Maya. We're not going to do it on the next one. I think we'll do it in a little bit. We'll do a slant height in a little bit. And I'm not going to make you do volume on the next one just because we're going to do a lot of work because the next one has a hexagon. So we're going to have to already do a lot of work for the beginning of that.
Is it millimeters squared for volume?
Volume's cubed. Raised to the third. All right, next problem. It says find the lateral area and surface area of the regular hexagonal prism. Okay, so the base is a regular what? Hexagon, very good. Slant height is good. They gave us that. Inches, right? Sure. Perimeter. Can we do perimeter?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's that? Good. 8 times 6, which is 48. And that's just inches. And then area of the base. Ooh, that's going to be a little bit more work. I drew this out separately just so we didn't have to draw it out ourselves. I drew this big hexagon because I wanted to help us figure it out. I know that this is 8. So what else do I know? The radius, or just from the center to the vertex is all 8? Uh-huh. What else do I know? All sides are 8, so this whole side is also 8.
You can find that in half.
Good, so this is 4.
The other one is
And they're going to be 4 root 3. Good. And so then to go from the short leg to the long leg, we're going to multiply by root 3. So 4 root 3, and think that's in inches. Now that number still goes on the line above. I just wanted to show it to you flat, and then I also wanted to show it to you in 3D. This is also 4 root 3 inches. Now, what we're not going to do, because we just did this a minute ago, and I don't need to practice Pythagorean theorem again, we could do another right triangle here. And my, I know it doesn't look like a right triangle, but it is. This is 18, and then this bottom would be 4 root 3. And then we could find the height by doing Pythagorean theorem. Are you okay with that, guys? Why? We're not going to. We could. The reason it's 4 root 3 and not 8 is because the slant height meets the center of the side, and 4 root 3 comes from the center to the outside. And that comes and meets the slant height.
Why can't you just apply that times with 30?
Because this is not a 30, 60, 90.
Oh, no.
Good question. All right, so now we got to find area. We did the hard work. Now let's finish. How do I find the area of the hexagonal base? Area equals 1/2 times base times height. What's your base? Good. What's your height? Good. And how many of those little triangles are in your hexagon? 6. So we're going to do 6 times all of them. So 1/2 of 8 is 4, and 4 times 4 root 3 is going to be 16 root 3.
Wait, what's the?
I thought it was 18.
B is
Wait, where
Is
did
8.
6. Oh, 6 sides.
uh-huh. What's wrong with that?
Oh, I never mind.
Oh. Everyone's good?
I think so. Wait, why is the? Did we not have to actually find the height for one of the questions? But we just need to?
We just did up here just to practice it. We didn't have to. And we could do it down here, but we don't have to. So I'm going to, just for time's sake, I'm going to skip that one
But you
today.
have to find it to be able to find the base, though, right?
We had to find this height in order to find the base. We don't have to find this height though to find the base. All right, 6 times 16 is going to be 96 root 3. And that's going to be in inches squared.
Oh, wait, so when it's given to us the slant height,
Yeah.
we need to find the lateral area. Do we use that slant height?
Yes. That's a great question. So when we come over here, lateral area is 1/2 P times L. So that's my slant height. And then surface area is just LA plus B. The only reason we found a regular height in the last problem is because I wanted you to also find the volume. So we had to use the H there.
So with these, it's always going for, do we use the slant height and make an L for all of them?
We make a slant height for the LA in these, yes. That answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so we're gonna do lateral areas. Everybody ready for lateral area? So I'm gonna do 1/2 times P. What's my P? Good, and what's my L? 18. Good, 1/2 of 48 is 24, and then 24 times 18 is gonna be 432 inches squared, very good. And my SA is going to be LA plus B. So my LA we just found is 432. And what's my B?
96.
Good.
Can you add those, or would that just be final?
That's it. Because I can't add those, right? What unit should I put on the end of this?
Inches squared.
Inches squared. All right, that's it for that one. That wasn't bad, was it?
No.
All right, last one is cones. And just like how I thought cylinders was easier than prisms, I think cones are easier than pyramids. Just because I think area and perimeter of a circle is a little bit simpler. Okay, so cone is a very similar idea. It's a solid with one circular base and one singular vertex. The height of the cone is the perpendicular distance between the center of the circle and its vertex. So by definition, the height goes through the vertex and goes through the center of the cone. And it's a perpendicular distance. The radius of the cylinder is just the radius of its base. And then the slant height has the same concept as the slant height in the other problem, but my slant height is the same distance all the way around. It's if I'm going from the vertex to the side of the circle, all of those distances, that's all the same. Cool? Okay.
Right in your
Sorry. Height goes down the middle of the cone. Slant height is like the outside of the cone.
edge of the cone,
Mhm.
but it's always the same.
It's always the same, no matter where on the circle it is. It's always the same. Everybody good?
Yeah.
All right. Next one, it says for the area of the cone, the area of the base. What's the area of a circle? Pi r squared. Good. And then the perimeter is 2 pi r. What's another way I could do perimeter or circumference? Pi d. Good. I am not going to give you those. I expect you to know how to find the area of a circle and perimeter of a circle. I'm just giving you all of these new formulas. Like Miss Caruana has them written over there. That's all what I'm going to give you, not like these. So you should know area of a circle, perimeter of a circle going into the quiz on Thursday. Okay. Lateral area of a cone is just like the last one. It's going to be 1/2 the perimeter of the base times the slant height. And now I like remembering it's just 1/2 P times L since that's the formula it was above. But I know some people like to think about it in terms of pi's and r's, so I will break it down in terms of pi's and r's. Remember, perimeter is 2 pi r, and my slant height is L. Well, if I'm doing 1/2 of 2 pi r, then the 2's cancel. So this is just pi times r times L. Again, you can use that if it makes you happy. It makes me happier to do it like this. So I'm going to do all my examples like the formula that I gave you for pyramids. Just keeping it consistent. All right, surface area, the same thing. LA plus B is what I gave you before, but if you want to think about it in terms of pi's and r's, LA, like we just found above, is pi RL, and base is going to be pi r squared. You can use either. And once we do a few, you'll see which one you kind of gravitate towards. Because I already make you find L and P and H and B, I like to use the first formulas, but some people like to just think about it in terms of pi. So I'm trying to be accommodating. And then last, volume, this should say 1/3, or it can say B times H divided by 3, but that needs to have a divided by 3 somewhere in there. And that's the same thing as 1/3 times pi r squared times H.
Where did you get the pi RL?
Pi r L is when I canceled off 1/2 times 2 pi r times L. The 1/2 and the 2 could cancel out.
Why did you get the pi RL? Oh,
To deal with the perimeter.
so how could you write that with a D instead of bringing?
If you did it with a D, it would be pi dl over 2. All right, we ready to do a couple examples? I just have 2 I want to do with you. Well, one I'm going to do, and then the other one you're going to do, and then I'm going to help you with. Last look at the formulas. Anybody, any questions? All right, can I go? All right. This next one says, complete the following, express answers in terms of pi. So I've got, this is the shape that's given to me. We're going to find all of these pieces. I also don't have, I think, P, so we have to write P at the bottom because for some reason I didn't give you a spot to put that. All right, let's start with R. What's the radius of this cone?
6.
6. Good, 6 feet. Good. Do I know my H?
I mean,
What is 10? That's my L. That's my slant height. Slant height. Good. 10 is at a slant, so that's my slant height. I'd have to drop a perpendicular down here in order to find my actual height. And this little right triangle would be X, 10, and 6. Yeah, but let's solve it. Ben, what were you going to say? I'd love to do Pythagorean theorem. What would that be?
can you do that easier?
6 squared plus x squared.
Multiply it by
You can't do it. It's not a 30, 60, 90. It's not a 45, 45, 90. Good. 6 squared plus x squared plus equals 10 squared. 36 plus x squared equals 100 minus 36, and I get 64. X equals 8. Good. No, Sophia, you know that right away, right? How did you know that? It's
I did that. I did that.
oh, you did Pythagorean theorem.
Yeah.
It's a pattern. It's a 3. This is a 3, 4, 5 triangle, and so instead of having 3, it's 6. So I multiplied that by 2. So 3 times 2 is 6. 5 times 2 is 10. So 4 times 2 is 8. If you've done enough of these, you would notice a pattern. So I know the 3, 4, 5 triangle. So like I knew it was 8 to begin with. If you knew that and you knew 8, that's fine. But you can definitely do a Pythagorean theorem too. So height is going to be 8. Okay. All right, let's do perimeter. I know that he's not there. I got to go to the bottom. Well, how do you find the perimeter or the circumference of the base here? Nope, that's area. Perimeter. Pi d or 2 times pi r. So 2 pi r, so that'd be 2 times pi times 6, which would be 12 pi. And that's just in inch or just in feet.
Is the height always
Yes, to find either the height or the slant height, you're going to need Pythagorean theorem. Yeah, good question, Lila. All right, how do I find a big B? How do I find the area of the base? Pi r squared. And r is 6, so pi times 6 squared is going to be 36 pi. And that's going to be, what's my unit on 36 pi? Feet squared. Good. Okay. Questions, thoughts, comments, concerns? All right, now we're getting to LA and SA and V. So I'm going to remind us that LA is going to be 1/2 P times L. So we're going to do 1/2 times, what's my P? 12 pi times L, which is 10. Good. Now, even though there's a pi in there, you can multiply all the numbers as you see them. 2 divided by 12 is going to be 6, and then 6 times 10 is going to be 60. So that's 60 pi, and that's going to be. So you just, the pi just gets tagged along, but you can multiply 1/2 times 12 times 10 in whatever order you want to. Yeah. You can do 1/2 of 10, and you could do 12 times 5. No, you only do 1/2 once. So you can do 1/2 times 12, or you can do 1/2 times 10, but you do not get to do it to both of them. That's a great question, Chase. I don't know if it's you guys or my pre-cal kids who have made mistakes like that. It's not distributed, it's just all being timed. So it's like 1/2 times 12 times 10 in whatever order you want.
So volume is squared.
Everything but perimeter and volume is squared. SA is going to be LA plus B. What did we just say our LA was?
60.
Good, 60 pi. And what's my B?
36.
36 pi. Can you add those together? Yeah. 60 plus 36 is going to be 96 pi feet squared. And last but not least, volume is B times H divided by 3. What's your B? 36 pi. And what's your H? 8. And then we divide that by 3. I do believe 36 and 3 cancel to be 12 and 1. So 12 times 8 is going to be 96. And what's my unit for volume? Feet cubed. Good. They both have a pi. Yeah, good question. Now, volume and surface area are both the same number. Sometimes you guys get that and you're like, oh, well, that can't be right because volume should be bigger because it's a bigger concept. Not necessarily. I want you to think of those all independently. if you remember on your test on the back page, you got area and perimeter were both 30. Does anyone remember that? Did anyone freak out about that a little bit? Nope. Okay, maybe you just forgot it's been a week. But did you know what I'm? There was a triangle problem where the area was 30 and the perimeter was 30. And I don't know if it was in this class, but somebody asked me one of the classes, they're like, is that okay that they're the same number? And I go, well, they don't depend on each other. So sure. Same thing here. These don't depend on each other. So they can be whatever number they turn out to be. Don't let that freak you out. Okay, can you start the next one? I'll write the little formulas and then I'll join you in a second. Don't forget to also do P. I know he's not on there.
If the first number can't be divided by 3, you cannot divide by 2.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You do what?
289.
Square root. You can do square root of 289.
Is that a whole number?
You can go to the next one. Yep. Give me those homeworks, okay? Good luck. Okay, well, have fun. All right, I'm gonna start filling my answers in. Is that okay? I'll go slow.
What's the
Formulas. Are we good? Just a little spill. Okay. It's all right. Spills happen. Yeah, I did P down at the very bottom. Well, let me try and write a little bit better. This is a mess. Perimeter is 2 pi r or pi d. This stylus is like so bad, and I'm just trying to hold on for the last couple days. Say that one more time. SA is LA plus B. You sure? I'm almost there. All right, just about to do volume and then I'm done. It might be. B was 64 pi times 15 over 3. I can cancel those out, so it's like 64
64.
times 5.
Where'd you get 64?
Isn't that my B?
Yes, I got 84.
Okay.
But that's obviously not the lowest. I think I just did
That happens sometimes.
that wrong.
All right, there is my whole problem.
Put pi into
Throw pi onto everything.
on everything.
Well, not every, don't just throw him, but he's there on most things, isn't he?
Where'd you get?
Remember to find the perimeter, you have to use circumference, so that includes a pi. So anything that uses a p is going to have a pi. And then everything with the base is going to have a pi as well, because the area of the base is pi. Hi, Paigey. Don't fall. Is
I lengthen this out a little bit more because I think I tried to do it.
Yep. Don't be afraid to write out more steps. You don't want to mess something up just because you didn't do it right.
Oh, that's my message. I thought LA didn't need a pi.
Oh yes, LA does need a pi because you brought it with it from P. These cylinders and cones have a pi in almost all of their answers, so don't lose your pi. And don't multiply your pi throughout. All right, I am done with notes for today. You just have a one-sider for homework, and it is due tomorrow. And tomorrow is when we're going to review all class period.
You do 5 times 64 and 8, right?
Or you can do 64 times 15 and then divide that by 3. That's fine too.
It's like,
Yep.
how many
All right, I'm going to
points did you
stop this
take, John?
recording.